Today's the day we buy our oil mill and get our farm's first big, full-size production facility. We've worked hard for it, but that oil mill isn't going to give itself up without a fight, as it throws us one last curveball before the purchase. Having delivered a load of logs, we have all the money we need to buy the large oil mill. Our purchases are getting bigger and more expensive, but we're also generating more revenue with every advancement on the farm. Let's get the log trailer parked and up to the new field where we're going to set it. Up here, in the corner, we'll place it right where this dilapidated old shed is. Unlike the other objects down in the secret property, this one we can sell, which will remove it from the map and give us a little money in the process. About $680 for the shed. Now to place the oil mill. We'll set it back from the edge of the field, leave enough room in front to access the spawning pallets, and we should have enough room in the back to dump the grain. But I can't. The ideal spot seems to overlap into the land I don't own, so we'll need to spin the thing around a different way. And now it says, area restricted. But why? I own this part of the land. Let me look around. There is a low-cut stump here, though free mode should let me place it on top. Just so I can see everything, let me hook up the mowers and we'll mow all the grass and small weeds in this area and see what we're dealing with. All right, the area's mowed. Let's pick up the grass with the baler and get it off the ground, and at least we'll get a bale or two out of it if nothing else. That's 2 bales, and we can see what we've got on the ground. I'll also use the landscaping tool and knock down a few of these shrubs. We'll want some of these gone anyway, just to have some visibility around the oil mill, and in the short term, we can see better what's on the ground. That's better. Let's figure out this oil mill. Alright, I'm way up on the hill behind the property and I can still cut this tree, so clearly we own this. Let's experiment. If I move the mill forward enough, I can place it. But even if I move it over to a clearer area where there's no hill or anything, and I haven't cut any trees, I still have to bring the mill forward into the field for me to place it. It's the same thing for any of these sheds, even a small one. I think what it is that this field is on the edge of the map. And even though I own the field and part of the hill, there's some map boundary restriction that keeps me from building so close to the map's edge. That's gotta be it. It seems the closest place the back of the building can be is right about where you see my marker, where I'm standing. That's sad, but we'll work with it. What I'll do is just sacrifice part of the field. We'll leave plenty of space in front to use the loader to get the pallets, and we can park the flatbed behind the mill to load. And we can even donate a little more of the field in front to pull our grain wagons around to dump into the trigger. There, $240,000, and we own an oil mill. But it did indeed make us work for it. We'll do a little landscaping now and do more later after we actually use the oil mill and see what we need. Let's take a look at what we own. We've arrived, people. We're playing with the big farmers now. Pallets will be spawning here in no time. You can even see into the windows some. I just wish I could go inside these things. That would be really nice. It's a rainy day, but we have an oil mill. Let's grab our double trailer and get our grain in there. We'll start with the sunflower seeds and get both trailers loaded with 16,000 liters. This is a good day on the farm, and we get to test out our first approach to the mill. Yeah, we'll have to gravel in that area in front, but it's just a small piece. We won't even notice the harvest loss. And in it goes. Once we get everything loaded, we'll activate the production. We'll get more product, and here is where we can see the beauty of the double trailer. We can load the partial bit of leftover sunflowers in the first trailer and start moving the canola with the second. And in it goes. I also seem to be regularly hitting this downy serviceberry. They're always in the way. One more trip to the silo should do it. A full load of canola in the first trailer and the rest in the second. That's all the product suitable for pressing into oil. Surprisingly, it's going to run through all of this pretty quickly. So it's good we have 3 more fields of canola growing. We'll need it. Let's get fancy and do a simultaneous unload with our final batch. Lastly, we'll activate the production for both sunflower oil and for canola oil. You can also see with both the sunflowers and canola, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. It takes 2 liters of grain to make 1 liter of oil. Let me also keep a promise from the last episode and go over exactly how much profit we'll make off the oil mill, just like we did for the small dairy. 2,000 liters of raw canola can sell for $1,400. That's taking pretty much the best price per 1,000 liters and doubling it for 2,000 liters of raw product. The 1,000 liters of canola processed from the 2,000 of raw canola sells for about $2,000. That's already a $600 increase for every 2,000 liters. That alone would be awesome, but it doesn't end there. The Small Farmers Kiosk gives a 20% bonus when you sell to there. It's on top of the listed sale price, which gives $2,400. That's an increase of around $1,000 more by turning the raw canola into oil. A similar thing can be said for sunflowers. The increase of selling the oil over the raw sunflowers is about $500. When selling at the Small Farmers Kiosk for the extra bonus, $2,520, a $920 increase. A slightly less margin of increase from the canola, but an overall more expensive crop. So from this, you can see why I was so excited and focused about getting the oil mill. It's going to take that crop off the field and turn it into some nice revenue. So far, we haven't sold any canola off the fields or sunflowers, so that'll be a direct injection of annual income we should definitely feel. As we water the goats in this absolutely gorgeous late day in November, I'm thinking I'll sell at least the canola oil next month in December while the price is still good. The mill won't produce a ton of pallets overnight, but we'll sell what it has, and also sell all the oat flour the small grain mill's been producing. I know, I haven't talked about the grain mill or the flour very much lately, but it's been doing its thing, and we should have quite a few pallets to sell when we flip over here into the month of December. let's take a look at the sale price. Yes, canola is just over $2,000, just like we thought, and the price of flour is at its peak as well. So all that will go into the small farmer's kiosk. The kiosk doesn't take everything like raw grains, but they do accept a lot of processed goods. Let's run over to the oil mill and see what we've got. 1 pallet of each, canola and sunflowers. And another pallet of each is on the way, so we'll be patient. It'll probably only be a few hours. While we wait, we can check out the growth of our oaks. They're doing nicely at over 13 meters, but a little ways to go yet. And we can definitely keep ourselves busy with loading the flour. We'll get up to the new fields and hook up the flatbed. This is the kind of work we got it for. And this is the first time we've loaded any flour from the grain mill. So we'll experiment with trailer placement. Hopefully, the neighbor won't mind me using his field a little. We'll get the John Deere into action and start loading. This should go pretty easy. Well, serves me right for using the neighbor's property and getting a tractor wheel sunk down in his plowed furrows. Nothing a little repositioning can't fix, so now we'll do it for real and get the flour loaded. That was a lot more flour than I thought there'd be. They just kept spawning, one after the other. A couple of times I thought it was done, and then there'd be more. I was going to just stack them in a single layer, but I'm glad I started with double stacking. We'd run out of room if I hadn't. Last stop is to get to the oil mill and load up the canola. From looking at the production rate from the oil mill and the hours since we activated the production, I can tell the oil mill does divide its processing across multiple products. That is, if all it had to work on was canola, we'd have received twice as much canola, but it had to divide its processing between the canola and sunflower, which is fine. We have plenty of time till the next harvest. It might have even run out of grain. Okay, the canola is on, let's go sell. The trigger is pretty small at the kiosk, and there's this big tree in the way, but I think we can just come in the other way and squeeze by. Maybe we can get it all sold in one go. Two batches and around 23,000 from 1 year of flour production at the small grain mill and an overnight production of oil half speed from the oil mill. I'll take that any day. And there's still a lot more oats to process at the grain mill. Let me pull over to the side and give you the quick rundown of the profits like I did for the oil mill. Raw oats sell for about $620, and when processed into flour, $800. Oats convert at a 1-to-1 ratio, so for every 1,000 liters of oats, you get 1,000 liters of flour. That increase in price is already nice, but at the small farmer's kiosk, about $960. So that's $340 more per 1,000 liters of oats. A big increase over just selling the raw oats. We'll keep that production going along with the others, and believe it or not, we're back up to over $36,000 in the account after buying the oil mill. And we have even more products to sell to start working towards our new tractor for spring planting. In the next episode, I'm unbelievably happy about the oil mill. See you in the next one.